Nice to meet you. Yeah.
You're born in Japan.
Yes.
Yes. What part of Japan were you?
In Kyoto, I was born.
Oh,
Yes.
hometown. This is your hometown.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was raised in New Orleans, Louisiana when I was little, and I came back to Japan after that. And I did some undergraduate studies in Cincinnati, Ohio, as a violin major, and they have a great music school there. And now I'm the concert master in Osaka Symphony Orchestra, and also I'm doing some solo things and traveling a lot. And I rarely go to the States, but to Europe very often recently, and also to the Asian countries. Actually, I was in Seoul, in Korea, last month.
Well, you'll have to give me some tips.
I love the food over there, and if you love the kimchi, it's great. And, I really recommend that you should visit Kyoto if you're coming to Japan, because this is the old capital before Tokyo. Tokyo is now the capital, but like how many years, maybe a few hundred years ago, the capital was in Kyoto, and the emperor was living here. And culture is very unique in Kyoto because we're surrounded with a mountain, and this place is like isolated, So it means that they have their own culture. Fortunately, at the Second World War, the United States didn't bomb Kyoto because of these old buildings. Yes.
Yeah. And I like what you said. That culture kind of develops and grows, whether you're physically or geographically isolated. I think there's a lot to that.
Isolated is rough, identification, but I think the history has it influenced the culture very much because like a few hundred years ago, they moved to Tokyo and the emperor was here and they have some pride in Kyoto.
And then for you, so being born in Kyoto and then raised in the States and then being back to Kyoto and traveling the world, do you feel like you're still culturally Japanese?
I think the time I spent in New Orleans, that is a big influence. I think I learned a lot and I was influenced by the people in New Orleans when I was a kid, and I didn't notice it, but I feel it I'm an outgoing person.
Yeah.
And I say it straight, very straight, not as Japanese. Yes. They pretend that they're cool. But sometimes it's good, but as a musician, it's an opposite thing. You have to express yourself.
Right. Yes. And you were saying that part of the Japanese culture is kind of fitting into society and just kind of flying below the radar. That doesn't translate well into being a musician if you have to stand out as an individual and express yourself.
So the period in New Orleans definitely influenced my life and my mind and philosophy and everything. But I'm not hating Japanese education culture. We are very disciplined. We train a lot. We study. So as a musician, to train your technique, it's very nice. But the other hand, you have to grow your musical tastes. Right. Very unique sound, like unique music. And so I'm kind of mixed, I was raised in the States and I go to Europe very much. And I get some essence of the other culture and the thinking, and so I'm very, you could say, very balanced.
And I like that concept. I think that's something I was talking to an Australian in Tokyo, and he was saying that he comes from a very privileged family, but he was fortunate enough to have his father make him travel and see the world and meet other people to help him balance it out, because otherwise he would have just been a rich prick, essentially. And I think it's the same, no matter where you start from, if you're a super disciplined culture, you're able to open up and see more.
Yes,
more of the
you
world.
should open up.
Yes.
That's the word. Yeah. And, recently it's after the COVID thing, we're opening everything and it's more global, and it's a great chance to gather some other tastes. And you know, as a musician, you have to go to many places and you have to meet many people and various kind of, you have to eat food and like, you have to cry and laugh and, you know, all the experiences, and it helps your sound grow, like rich, like, yes. I'm trying that.
Yeah.
Very much.
That's interesting. And like you said, yeah, the experiences is what make your music. You can't just read the notes on the page and just practice and practice and practice. Like you'll turn into a machine versus an artist. Yeah.
But recently, you know, the young people are like, you have many chances to listen with the iPhone and the YouTube and everything, and but this is on YouTube maybe. But, I should say the Japanese culture and the society is we really care about each other. Compare with, I don't know the real thing, but compare with the States, the people are very individual, probably very much. In Europe also, because they're with God like this, like you and God, right? But for us, Japanese or Asian people, we are like in the same, you know, we care about the people. So you have to be very balanced. The society is like one of a group. Yeah. And it's very nice because we don't have any poor people, really poor people. Right. Not really very rich people, like billionaire, I don't know. But we're like average. It's okay, very balanced. Don't you think?
You know, yes, from the train ride from Tokyo to Kyoto, I look at the houses and it seemed everything was very even and very even playing field. Yeah, and I will say in the States, we are very, very individualistic. We are always working for ourselves. What can we do next and best for ourselves? If it helps the community, it also has to help us at the same time too. There's very, very rarely you feel the sacrifice of an individual for the community in an authentic way. Yeah, I think it's a very interesting observation, and I think I've learned to balance a little bit of that Americanness by.
But as a musician, I'm against that. You know, you don't have to be balanced. You know, you have to be very unique, and you have to have your own sound. And but you know.
But you can do that with also being nice and not being
but
selfish, I guess.
In a way, you have to be selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a artist, you know, you have to be very proud and. Whatever the reason is, if the reason doesn't make any sense, but you have to be confident, like, you know, this is it. Like, it's interesting, you know, the different culture and talking like this, it really, you know, I'm so happy to know your thinking and, you know. So the, you know, you said that you were traveling from Tokyo to Kyoto by the Shinkansen, I think, you know, the train, right? Yes. Didn't you think the service, the announcements at the station is too much? Like everything too much service. Like, didn't you notice that?
It's funny. So my friend Damon, who will watch this, and he said the same thing. He's like, I can't take it anymore. Everything is like, please stay off your phone. Be for the greater good. Please watch out for the greater good. He's like, can they just turn that off?
Yes, it's too much. I need the earplug, like, you know. And that's the very curious mind of service, generally. And the train is exactly on time. Everything. Precisely. Very much. And everything is, you know, controlled. Not controlled, but it's there and at the right place, right? And they do it like that, but it's too much sometimes, most of the time.
All the time. One of my first trips to Tokyo, we went to one of the observation decks, I think in Roppongi, and we were one of the last people there, and there was an elevator attendant. And it's myself, my sister, and a person from the UK. And we walk up to the elevator, and she's like, no, please stand behind the line. And we're like, there's nobody else here. She's like, please, behind the line. And she had to push the button, and she had to wait for it was a whole thing. And I was just like, it seems a bit too much. It made me realize like how much everybody has a role. Everything has to run on time. Everything has a procedure. it's beautiful and efficient, but I don't think
It's
I can live
beautiful, but it's too much, and we don't need it. So the energy goes to that. So I don't think it's like a waste of energy. You know, they can spend the energy in the other things, like creating beautiful things, or like when you get to the airport, you arrive to the airport and you go to the baggage claim. And did you notice that all the handles of your luggage is in this side? Isn't it too much? You go to Italy and all the luggage are like it's like a mountain, and it's only there. Yeah. But it's a problem like that. But we do it like all the services are too much, and it's.
Do you think there's something that you're doing with music, or that you see other artists doing, that are kind of rebuffing that culture, or trying to bring more individualism into Japanese culture?
We're trying to do that. Our generation, and we're the older generation who developed the classical scene. They are very into copying, to get the technique from the Europe, the United States, and everything. And that they did a great job. And for us, we have to develop it to the next step. Like we should use this internet thing, but I'm trying to do it in analog, because this violin it's made in 1680, and it's like, yes, this one is in Italy, the Cremona, and this is a masterpiece. I'm renting it. A rich guy bought this as an investment. He's going to keep it for 10 years, and I'm allowed to play on this for like 10 years, and he's going to sell it afterwards, and he's going to earn huge money, right? So it's much more than the stock market thing.
More valuable than Bitcoin?
Yeah, exactly. I can play, yes.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want.
please. Yeah, please, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me think if there's any other questions first. To new and up and coming artists, be them classical artists, rappers. I know there's my family's Jamaican, a lot of Jamaican influence here.
Is that right?
It's right, yeah. Whenever I come back, I've seen like there's some reggae dance hall things that Japanese people do, and
they're trying, but they're just imitating. Like,
hey, this is the biggest form of flattery. We love to see it, and it's
really?
It's cultural appreciation. This is what Jamaicans say. It is cultural appreciation.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
great. Nice to say that.
But no, I just love that there's some openness to trying that, and even if it is just replicating or imitating, there's something a little bit different.
Yeah, that's what we did for the classical field.
Yeah.
Also, like 100 years ago, we just imitated from Europe, and that's the point. We have to mix everything and develop by ourselves.
Exactly.
First, you have to copy it or learn it, and we chew it and we just express
And add to it.
Exactly, that's the point. You have to add something. Yeah?
Any advice you would have for the next generation of any type of artist? Yeah.
Be yourself, and believe your sound, and believe your impression, and believe your taste. But on the other hand, you have to grow your taste and eat many things, and just puke or enjoy, and it's you have to continue doing it. It will grow of course, your body and your soul and your taste and everything. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to do it. And I love traveling. I love meeting people. And yeah, traveling is great, As you travel very much, right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
I envy you, and I'm trying to do the same. And for myself, because life is not that long. You should do it today, and that's my philosophy. Yeah. I'll see you soon in the concert.
Yeah.